I don't hate Justin. One, I have nothing to gain hating him or liking him.
A fair warning to you mental health therapists out there that are trying to analyze.
But maybe I judged the book wrong by its cover.
Hey guys, Blessing here. How are you all doing? Well, it's been a minute, and as I promised you guys that I would bring any updates on new developments, and I do know that I haven't really been fulfilling that promise, but I'm gonna make it up to you guys one way or the other. So the other day I stumbled upon a video of Justin's where he was more or less dishing out a stern warning to bloggers and people who just use his content as though they were him, if that makes sense. So people who download his videos and upload on their pages that they created and pretend that they are Justin, whereas they are not him. So he has said that he's going to start to crack down on those people, and he particularly sent also a direct message to a certain mental health professional. Take a listen.
This is an official request from my family to stop all the drama related to me, related to them, and related to Korra. It is not helping my kids. It's not helping anything. So if you are in the mental health field and you know who you are, trying to cause drama with my family, there are regulatory boards that I have reported you to already.
There are regulatory boards that I have reported you to already. That message was intended for Eppa Worldwide. I'm sure some of you know her. I need to be honest that I haven't really been following her. I know of her existence. I know that she is Team Korra all the way, Black sister supporting Black sister, and all of that, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing if you want to support a sister. Hey, but do it with wisdom. Do it with maturity. Do it with the children in mind. And when I say children, I mean June and Athena. Don't just do it because, well, Korra is a Black sister, so let's just kill the white man. Remember, he just said that he has already reported you. You have your professional license to protect. I'm sure you wouldn't want to tell anyone the story in future that, oh my God, I lost my license because of some Kongosa or some Amebo. Well, in case you guys don't understand what those words mean, they mean gossip. Online, thread with caution. Let's listen to Justin further.
And if you're trying to create drama between two parents, you're part of the problem.
I totally agree with this, and if you guys remember one of my previous videos, I said exactly what he just said now, even when he was still throwing stones at Korra, and when Korra was also doing her own, calling him a thief and all of that. I already said it. Team Korra and Team Justin, you guys are the main part of the problem. Especially those of you who are still on this case 4 months down the line. Like, it's been 4 months already and you guys are still spewing hate towards either Korra or Justin, knowing fully well that they have 2 kids that they somehow have to manage to see each other face to face, to raise together. At least consider that. And I'm going to repeat something I said in that previous video that I made. Those of you saying ugly and nasty things about Korra, imagine June and Athena growing up someday to read those things that you are saying about their mother. Do you know how distraught that would make them? So would you say then that you have done a good thing for them by what you're doing to Korra right now? And those of you also who are saying ugly and nasty things about Justin, imagine those kids also growing up someday to read those things you said about their father. And you guys claim you love the kids. You claim, oh, they are beautiful, we love them and all of that. But if you love them, you wouldn't want to leave defamatory footprints of their parents, would you? So if you truly love those kids, you're going to protect them from future emotional pains that you can potentially cause them with the things that you are saying at this present time. It takes a certain level of wisdom and maturity to really see things this way, and that is why I do not understand that matured women, moms are daily still doing videos about this couple, bashing them and just wanting people to continue to join them to bash them. So like I said before, I hadn't really been watching this lady, but after Justin did this video sending out a warning to her, I went to her page and watched one of her most recent videos talking about Justin, and I want you guys to take a listen to her justification of what she says and does to Justin.
I keep telling you guys that I don't hate Justin. One, I have nothing to gain hating him or liking him because he don't add to my life or take away from my life. But obviously, he gives me teaching points to teach with.
He gives me teaching points to teach with. So my analysis is actually going to start here, and let me reintroduce myself to some people that might be listening to this video and a bit confused that I can imagine where Blessing stands. Is Blessing Team Korra? Is Blessing Team Justin? Again, Blessing is neither. I am an analyst and I just analyze based on what I see and what I hear, irrespective of who is involved. Now, Eppa Worldwide just said that she uses Justin for her teachings. And madam, this is where you're getting it wrong. You can be inspired to teach on a particular topic based on someone else's life, but you don't always have to poke it in their face. So what you do is you use Justin as a case study, you study his life, and you want to use what is going on between him and Korra to teach your viewers about what you think the situation is. That on its own is not a bad thing, but where it becomes a bad thing is that every single time that you teach your viewers, you tag Justin, you tag Korra, and you make your teachings about them. So for example, you want to teach about who a narcissist is. The moment you start to tag Justin, you are already labeling him as a narcissist. And that is where, like I said, the problem is. And that is where it begins to take the form of bullying, because you are repeatedly poking this person. Every single time that you mention their name, you tag them in your posts, you are taunting them. So let's just listen a bit further to Eppa Worldwide for us to have a better idea of the kinds of things she says about Justin.
Deadbeat dad who is using his children to make money. That is all it is. That is all it is. He's not doing what he's doing because he loves his kids and care. Don't you see the guilt? He's all bathed in guilt. He can't even look at you in your eye. Don't you see how guilt is all bathing him head to toe? You don't see that?
Madam, you sound really judgmental here, and just listening to Eppa Worldwide kind of reminds me of how Lolo's talk show has been towards Korra. So Eppa Worldwide is like a mirror reflection of Lolo. While Lolo is bashing Korra, Eppa Worldwide in her own way is bashing Justin. So she just said Justin is all about using the kids to make money, and honestly, if you want to believe that Justin is using the kids to make money, then you should be ready to equally believe that Korra is also using the kids to make money, because I don't see anything different that Justin is doing with his kids on camera that Korra is not doing. So if you just want to say something about this couple, at least be honest and fair about it. Don't only try to castigate the man and picture everything that he does as being bad and evil, but the moment Korra does the same thing or something similar, then it's fine and acceptable. And that is the point at which you know that you are in the wrong and that you are just personally hating on that person you are always against. And again, that is the problem I see here with Eppa Worldwide.
I couldn't watch that video. I just have to leave it alone. I couldn't. And that, this one, I don't want to say it because I would sound prejudicial, and I don't want to do that. That's not my person. But anyway, a sight of that thing pissed me off. The lady that was holding Atina, That side, I don't know what it is about that scene that just threw me off. Usually, nothing of theirs gets to me, but that scene, I don't know if it's because she's a person of color and I feel like she's supposed to be on the Korra side.
So here, Eppa was explaining that there was a woman of color holding Athena at Justin's place, and she was pissed off at the scene because according to her, she would have expected for the woman of color to be on Korra's side. And I'm listening to this mental health professional, someone who lives in a multicultural, civilized country like the United States of America, making such utterances. And I'm thinking, madam, you don't only sound prejudicial, you also sound racist.
It to me is a pride, especially as a person of color. I've never been offended with anything like today. I feel if we feel it's offensive, I just feel, and it's personal. I just feel like, oh, at least you would think the person will at least stay neutral or at least support a person of color, which shouldn't be, but it's my inadequacies, it's maybe my biases, you understand? And that got in the way and made me feel offended.
All right, so Eppa Worldwide acknowledges here that she has an issue and that her being offended by seeing a person of color being somewhat on Justin's side, in quotes, is a result of her own inadequacies. So clearly, Eppa Worldwide has a problem, and that looks like a problem of putting race at the center of a situation. One thing I'm going to say here is that you do not judge a situation or a person based on the color of their skin. You should be able to train yourself, especially as a medical professional, to look beyond the color of someone's skin. And this is also a problem some people actually go get help for. And like I said, the first step you need to take when you want to solve a problem is acknowledging that you have a problem. And Eppa Worldwide knows that, okay, this is not supposed to be so. She said it herself. So now I just feel like she needs to find a way to start to think differently about people and about situations when she's talking about these things publicly, because people are actually listening and people can tell that the main problem here is not Justin or who Justin is, but the main problem here is how you think about people of another race. And like you said also rightfully, it is getting in the way of your judgment. It is clouding your judgment. And that might be what is pushing you to say the things that you are saying about that man. And that is also a big reason why you need to slow down at this point in time, because it is really getting detrimental, not only to Justin, but also to the way that people see you. Eppa, slow down and take a step back. This case between Justin and Korra is not about you. You are not their relative. This is exactly the same thing I said to Lolo. You are not related to these people. It is actually none of your business. Many people came out, including me. We talked about their issue when it came out. Everyone had an opinion. That should be fine. But when you continue to take it so personal, you make it a daily job, a daily duty that you have to come on your page every single day and do videos and say things to make someone really look bad, then you're really doing something wrong, because no one is going to learn from you bringing another person down. If you want to teach about stuff and leave people out of it. You don't have to label them. You don't have to call them names.
I don't respect any human who doesn't put their kids first. Sharon, that's it. That's all I'm talking about. What do I have to talk positive about when it's all about him and the camera? It's nothing about, he's always looking to please the camera versus pleasing the needs of the kids.
Does this sound familiar to you guys or not? This sounds exactly like what people say about Korra. Oh, Korra is all about herself. It's all about Korra. She doesn't care about the kids. It's all about her and the camera. And that is exactly what this woman is saying about Justin. Madam, rest. We have heard this for 4 months. I think it's a pretty good time to move on from here.
He forced Korra to give birth at home. Thank you. First Korra to give birth at home, therefore to endanger her life. And then he later on turned around and passed a comment on his post talking about, oh, what did he say again? When people were telling him, why would you remove the 2-month-old from breast? What if she didn't come out of childbirth? What if she didn't make it? What if this? That guy had a motive for everything he did. It's just that Korra didn't realize it.
Wow, so this lady is saying that Justin had premeditated for something to possibly happen to Korra, and that is why he allegedly forced her to give birth at home. And based on my knowledge of how things went down, I thought it was Korra who really wanted to have a home birth. I mean, she decorated the entire room, and I think the whole thing, well, most of it was her idea. I might be wrong. But what I'm hearing this woman do here is just spreading hate and just sowing the seeds of hate in people's hearts to make them think and believe that Justin had a motive for Korra giving birth at home and hoping that something should happen to her. And this is a bit sickening. And I think Eppa Worldwide, I think she's kind of pushing this a bit too far and taking it a bit too personal, in my opinion. And so far, Eppa Worldwide has done over 300 posts on, like I said, Korra, Nancy, or Justin, and that is quite a lot in 4 months to be just putting out content about other people in the manner that you do it. I mean, your page is Eppa Worldwide, not Korra Worldwide or not Justin Worldwide at the end of the day. So I just feel like you just need to do the right thing to maintain your self-respect. I mean, do topics and teach people whatever you want to teach them. But I just also feel like it's a bit disrespectful to always tag these people every single time you want to teach anything. So it makes your teaching more about them than the message you're trying to teach in essence. So let us continue to listen to what Justin said.
Yeah, this is an official request from my family to stop all the drama related to me, related to them, and related to Korra. It is not helping my kids.
So I find it quite profound and gentlemanly that he actually was not only trying to protect himself from being slandered, but also he was more or less standing up for Korra. Like, this is not just all about me, but also don't do it to Korra. Because if you really think of it, the more they hate on Korra and bash Korra, it comes right back to him one way or the other. Because whether you like it or not, that is still the mother of his kids. So for me, he really spoke well. And this is what you do as a man. This is what you do as the head of the home or as the father of the home. And this is what a lot of people expected for him to have done, like months ago when Korra was being slut-shamed, being called names. These people were really disappointed in him. Like, you really are not acting matured by trying to push this woman under the bus, trying to make people see her in a very negative light, which is more or less the main reason many people are upset at him. But I think he has realized he did wrong, realized he made a mistake with what he did at the time, and he's just trying to correct it and just trying to move on from there and just seek peace and just co-parent in peace going forward.
So not only will I report anything that's misleading about my family, not slanderous to my name, I will also report it if I'm included in it and it's slanderous against Korra's name, because at this point, this is all just going too far.
Now, let us listen to what Korra thinks about all of this.
She's going insane while Justin is live showing off his new nanny. Why do you guys keep bringing it up? Will you guys move on in life? I don't understand. The two people, they've moved on. You are here trying to do and do. Now you are getting blocked.
All right, you guys just heard that Korra and Justin are right on the same page about this matter. The question is, don't you guys move on over Sabi housewives, all those women supporting Korra, all those women supporting Justin and bashing the other one? Don't you guys just get tired and move on? Korra and Justin have made it clear that you guys are not helping matters. Your help and support is not needed because it is just detrimental for any possibility of peace or collectively raising their kids. But in other news, let me just quickly say to Korra here, in case you stumble upon this video and before you go out and say that someone has stolen your content again, this 18-second segment you just listened to was put here for illustration purposes alone. This entire video is an analysis. It's the same way people from CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, and all those other people do analysis and also include segments from third parties. But I want to give credit here to Korra Obidi, to Justin Dean, and to Eppa Worldwide for the clips used in this video. Now, having said all of that, I want to show you guys where this couple, Nino, I believe, and Rhoda come into all of this. After Justin did that video warning bloggers and warning all those other presenters who slander him and say trash about him and Korra, just a day after, this couple, Nino and Rhoda, they came out and did what looks like an apology video. Take a listen.
And feelings can change over time, guys, just by seeing certain things, or, you know, you might even say, you know, we may have even said things that were kind of regretful, you know, in a way. Before anybody jumps the gun here, this is a positive post about Dr. Justin Dean. And I'm going to say this to you, my brother. Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you, because honestly, from everything that I'm seeing, everything that my wife is seeing, honestly, you've been a wonderful father.
Guys, let's talk about this apology. In as much as I genuinely believe that the man was speaking genuinely, I feel like his apology was really heartfelt. He meant, in my opinion, he seemed like he meant every word that he was saying. He wished that he could take back everything that he said about Justin. I must also say that this apology is not very, very clear to me, because Nino said majority of the ugly things he said about Justin, not because he wasn't a good father, but because he wasn't, in Nino's eyes, a good husband. I watched some videos of Nino and Rhoda when they were really against what Justin did to Korra and how he was treating Korra on social media, how he left her, and Nino was like, a man, a husband is not supposed to do that. You stick with your wife, you stick with your family, and all of that. He said a lot of things, and those things were based on the fact that we do not agree with you, Justin, with the way you are treating this matter with your wife. It was never a case of, Justin, we think you are a bad father. Even if it was, that was not the main reason they said many of those things they said. So if Nino is sitting here saying, I'm sorry, I wish I could take back my words, are you now saying that Justin's actions towards Korra are also justifiable or acceptable? Because if you condemn something, you condemn it. So Nino is saying here, look, I'm taking back my words because he's a good father. But why would you take back the words you said about him being not a good husband to Korra? That is what I'm not really understanding with this apology.
There were some things said out there, obviously. At the time, we felt like we were speaking our minds. But maybe I judged the book wrong by its cover, honestly. Maybe I feel like I did. Honestly, I feel like I judged the book wrong by its cover, meaning you, Doctor.
I have always known him to be a great fighter.
Nino believes he judged the book wrong by its cover. And I'm like, where does this actually leave Korra? Because whatever you guys were upset about that Justin did is still not undone. And when you guys were on this case, Korra would come under your comment section and show appreciation for whatsoever you guys were talking about against Justin. So again, where does this leave Korra? Are you guys now saying, well, everything Justin did was just right, that you have to take your admonition back. That is what this sounds like, and that is why it's really confusing. And it is also more confusing when I listen to the lady Rhoda saying, well, I've always known Justin to be a good father. I mean, I don't think the debate was he a good father? I think the debate was more about what happened, what transpired, how Justin brought things to social media. That is what it was all about mainly. And it's also a bit, I don't know, funny that Madame was sitting there sounding like, well, this apology is for Nino alone. Nino was sounding more like we are apologizing, and she was sounding like he is apologizing. And I just feel like if you guys really want to be genuine, especially Madame, and if we want to keep it real, both of you did what both of you did. Every single time that you guys did that video, Nino did not sit down by himself talking against Justin. You were always there with him, and you guys 95 or 99% of the time spoke with one voice. You guys agreed with each other on most of the things that were being said. Even if those words maybe did not come out of your mouth, you were agreeing with him. It was your show together. So for you to kind of like subtly exempt yourself from this apology, I don't just think it is cool, making it look like it is just the man that made the mistake. You guys were in it together, and you both were team Korra. So let's not play like, okay, I always knew this, or okay, well, I was always in support of Justin as well, or no, let's just keep it real. You both were openly and clearly in support of Korra. And if you guys have now come to that place feeling like, oh, we probably said things we shouldn't have said, or we were too hard on Justin, it's fine. Apologize for that. But don't make it seem like, well, we are apologizing because we realize you're a good father, when the debate was never about his fatherhood capabilities.
Honestly, man, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take back everything I said about you on social media. I'm going to be big about this, and with a sincere. I want to come out with a sincere, apologetic apology to you, Doctor, on social media. I want to come out and tell you that
Absolutely,
with all my heart, I'm truly sorry for what I said about you.
Yeah, again, just so much respect and kudos to this man for him to do this. It's one thing realizing that you have done someone wrong, and it's another thing swallowing your pride, humbling yourself, and coming forward publicly to say, look, I've done you wrong and I want to make amends. Not so many people would want to put their ego aside and take this bold step that this gentleman has taken here. Again, I feel like he has done the right thing if he feels in his heart that he needed to do this. And like I said before, I just see the genuinity in what he was doing. And I also honestly feel like Justin Dean should embrace him. And also I feel like this man should reach out to Justin privately, like man to man, for both of them to just stretch out that hand of reconciliation towards each other.
I was not blind. I'm not blind. Like, if somebody's not, if thing doesn't work out between you and your wife or your husband, does not mean you know people should condemn you completely, saying you're bad in every ramification. It shouldn't be like that, honestly. If somebody's good, if somebody's doing well, let's say it.
So the moment Madame started to talk, it started to feel like there might actually be more to this apology than meets the eye.
I am a lady. I didn't like what happened to, the lady in the past. We're not going to name anybody's name here. I didn't like that one bit. But open your eyes. Look further.
I was totally amazed at how Rhoda avoided mentioning Korra's name the entire video. And I was listening to her and I was like, what? Since when? What happened? What went wrong? Since when did you start to forbid the name Korra on your platform? And that started to bring all these different questions to mind as to, could there be something with Korra that made this couple have a rethink about everything they thought Justin was?
If we are really, this person, I don't want to mention her name. If you're really, this lady's fan and we love her as we all claim, If just someday she decides to work things out with her husband, so be it. What if someday or somehow the wife or the lady in question comes out and say to the public, I'm back with my husband? Are you all gonna hit your head on the rocks?
Could it be that they are now seeing Korra in a different light than they thought initially? Because a lot of people got to know Korra after she put to bed. Many people didn't know her before then. And of course, they also got to know a bit of her after the whole scandal. But now the entire scandal is dying down and the real Korra is beginning to come out of her shell and people are starting to get to truly know her. So there might just be a possibility that they are not really pleased with the Korra that they are getting to know now, or it might just simply be that they didn't want to mention her during this particular video because perhaps they didn't want to shift the attention to Korra since they were apologizing to Justin. It could really be both ways, and I do know that you guys have an opinion about it. Some people are even saying the reason these people came out to apologize to Justin was out of fear of being sued by him, but I don't think they did it out of fear. I think they just did it out of realizing new things that they didn't know before. So you guys should go ahead and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also keep an eye on this page by clicking on the like button and following this page so that you can receive updates when I upload a new video. Also share the video if you found it interesting. I remain Blessing Njoh, the analyst, and I will catch you all on my next one.
Some bloggers on social media were part of the problem instead of the solution, and that's including us too. You know, we were part of the problem at some point, you know, and like I said, you know, we got to be part of the solution, guys. We got to come up with a better plan and a better way to go about life, because it's not worth bashing people. It's not worth, you know, saying things that can hurt somebody, because words are powerful.